Hey there. Hopefully the audio is a little bit better now since I actually switched the microphone on. Okay, so I came up with this idea where I would take one drawing and do two different versions of it. One traditional with watercolours and fine liners and so on, and then one digitally on my iPad on Procreate. So the first thing to note is that I didn't really like how either version turned out, and I think that's because I designed the drawing for a digital version, but then I kind of had to compromise with the different colours and stuff to fit it into traditional, so I kind of compromised on both versions to end up with a less than drawing. Instead of getting the best out of both worlds, I kind of got the worst out of them, so that was my fault. But it does mean that I did learn a few things while I was doing it. So, I noticed that it was a lot harder to get the contrast across on traditional, because if I'm having kind of the same colour scheme, different tones of the same colour throughout, then they're kind of all going to blend together. So I think I either need to rethink my colour scheme in future so that the colours stand out a bit more against each other. Primary colour schemes are really good for this, but I chose kind of a red autumny theme, and like I said, they all kind of blended together. So that meant that I had to compromise, and it also meant that I used a lot more lines in the traditional piece than I originally intended, because I quite like lineless work. But because everything kind of mushed together, I kind of needed that definition that line art brings. So yeah, that was a bit of a letdown. Also, the framing of the character was very much designed for the digital rendering, which was my bad. Yeah, so I kind of designed it digitally and then had to compromise everything to fit it onto traditional, when really I should have done it the other way around. So I would have designed it for traditional medias and then kind of translate it digitally afterwards. I was kind of working in the wrong direction for this thing, but it does mean that I can try this challenge again in future and hopefully do a bit better. I like the textures that the traditional version brought a lot more. I kind of like the background better just because of like the way the colours blended, and I think it looks cool. I don't really like the rest of it though, but again, that might just be down to poor design. I think just the overall composition of the piece was bad. Like, I should have zoomed in slightly more, and I should have redesigned the dragon because it looks a bit too much like a bird because you just see wings and that's it. I don't know, it's just poor choices on my behalf, so I can't really tell if this challenge was successful or not. I mean, from all the things that I've pointed out, it looks like it's not very successful, but I have learnt how to make it better in the future. Overall, I think next time I just need better composition, a better colour scheme, and just better concept, really. But yeah, it was still interesting to see how each drawing turned out, and I learned what the limitations are within each media, and I just learned how not to do it, basically. Yeah, I don't know, I still think it was a cool concept, it was just poorly executed on my behalf, so my bad. like this challenge. I'm gonna, maybe if I do it again in future, I'll try different processes. So I'll try some gouache or acrylic or something in traditional, and then I don't know what I'll do for digital, because digital is just digital, isn't it? But yeah, if you have any suggestions of what I should try next, then feel free to let me know. Yeah, I hope you'll stick around for the next one. Hopefully it won't be as much of a train wreck, but we'll soon see. Okay, bye!